Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Wednesday, the 30th of November 2022. Thanks for joining me. We're on the last day of the month here. I'm going to use the Robin Wood Tarot for today's reading, and I'll just show you some of the cards. Okay, so let me shuffle these, and I'm going to choose three to see what Wednesday is all about. Right, so first card is the Six of Pentacles. So some temporary opportunity when it comes to your work, your finances. Next, the Five of Swords. Okay. And the Star. Lovely. Okay. So these two are kind of telling me a story here. So this is you in work, really creating opportunities for yourself and working hard and getting things done and feeling really into your work at the moment because you're able to get a lot done, you're super productive, and also there may be an opportunity for you to feel really good about yourself in some area of your work. So this man, he feels good about himself when he gives to other people who need his help and support, his financial support in this case. So that's what does it for him. So whatever makes you feel proud of yourself, makes you feel like, yes, I've done something that is meaningful. And especially if it was difficult or challenging, it's almost like I'm creating proof and memories for myself here that I can go back to later, that I am capable, that I am self-reliant. This card, the Five of Swords, is usually about bullying and intimidating other people or negative behaviors towards other people in order to make yourself feel better. In this case, always we've got the knight taking the swords from the other knights, and there's major conflict. But you know what's so interesting, and I don't know if this was intentional with this deck, that face, I mean, to me, that looks totally... that doesn't work for me at all, that expression on that face. So what that says to me is that if you behave like if you do anything that's underhanded, or you come from a space where, okay, I'm gonna take this out, even though things like that usually aren't conscious, we do them unconsciously, right? So I was gonna say, if you find yourself taking your anger out on someone else who really has nothing to do with it, or you're laughing at someone and it makes you feel better about yourself, or whatever it may be, similar to this lovely expression on this face, you'll kind of show yourself up a little bit. It doesn't put you in a good light, and it's going to be noticed, is what I feel. So we've got two very different people here. We've got one who's being super productive and doing something meaningful and helping others. Here we've got someone who's doing the opposite. He's unhelpful. He's taking away from others. And then he's also going to feel bad about himself afterwards. He's going to regret the way he behaves. So this will catch up with him afterwards. The Star is really the answer to these two cards and the conflict that exists between them, because they're polar opposites, really. Selfless, selfish. The Star is all about letting go of negativity so that your true light can shine. So that's kind of interesting, because that says to me, or the card is saying to me rather, that there's no judgment being made about which one is good or bad. She's letting go of everything that burdens her emotionally. So the answer, the reality is, my behavior, does this sit right with me? Am I proud of it? Is this something I would share with anybody in my life? Or does it bother me? Do I feel ashamed of the way I acted? Do I regret having done certain things? And if the answer is it doesn't sit right with me, then you have the ability to, one, realize that, oh, I did something in the past that I wasn't so proud of when I stole everyone's swords. I regret that, but I'm not going to beat myself up over it. I've now accepted it. I'm going to let it go, and I'm going to focus on doing things that support me, the things that are important to me, to other people, and I'm going to behave the way I would like to behave and be the way I would want to be. The star, actually, I'm just thinking about the traditional meaning of this card. It's the 17th card in the Major Arcana, so it's pretty near the end. And it's that moment when you realize, you know, all this stuff that I'm carrying around, it fundamentally doesn't change who I am. It's a weird, it's a really interesting thing, because you could say, well, aren't you accountable for the things you have done? Of course you are, but by forgiving yourself for certain things, that doesn't absolve you of the responsibility. But you exist then in this dual little dawn, dusk, twilight space where you can really do good and let your light shine, and at the same time let go of the past and the things that you've done wrong. So it's finding that really narrow path that's the middle way between the two. Wow, so interesting. So this is a day to come to terms with who you are and what you've done, particularly if there are things that you're still ashamed of, or that you regret, or that you can't forgive yourself for. I mean, that's very heavy, but really, there's a moment of acceptance and willingness that appears here today, and by tapping into that, making the most of it, so that can be the opportunity of the day as well, not just work. You lighten the load a little bit. You make your own emotional pain, what you're carrying around with you, a little bit lighter. And I think we could all use a little bit of that, I think. Maybe I'm the only one who feels that way, but I don't think I am. I really do think that, you know, we have all these experiences in life, and they're never really resolved or analyzed. It's just on to the next thing. It's like, oh, school sucked. Okay, well, sorry, but here's university. And oh, that wasn't great either. Okay, well, here's working life. Okay, on you go. You know, it's never really like... So there's got to be a point of taking a moment and saying, okay, I am being productive and busy, but my own experience matters to me. And if that's not being heard by anyone else or by myself, I'm going to hear my inner voice. And if it's nagging at me, it's probably nagging at me for a reason. So the acceptance comes in, and then I can let it go. So you are your own mentor today, and you've got a really calm and patient ear for yourself. Number-wise, we've got 6 and 17 is 23, and 5 is 28. 2 and 8 is 10. 2 and 8 is 10, and 10 reduces to 1 in numerology. And 1 is the vibration of the pioneer, the boss, the magician, the person who does things on their own. And I think the way that appears is that the energy you find in your practical circumstances, if you have to make changes there, again via this card, really look at doing that, because you can get a lot done. But then when it comes to your own thinking, I think you take charge of that and you honor it, and you say, okay, I'm going to turn this ship around, okay? If I'm sailing off into negativity, I'm going to change course and sail somewhere more pleasant. And I think you're really able to do that today. And that's a skill I think I certainly need to practice, but I think on days like this, it shows us that it's possible. So I hope you have a great time. If you'd like a personal oh, I'm just being prompted before I go. If there's conflict at work and there's like you feel bullied, or someone's just being like this face, then not worth taking seriously is what I mean. Don't rise to the occasion. Don't take the bait and don't get into it. It's not worthy. It's not, yeah, that's another Freudian slip, but that's actually a good one. It's not worthy of your time and energy. Okay, so if you would like a personal reading with me, please do get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. In my personal readings, I use the tarot, astrology, and numerology, and I combine all three. If you have any questions about your ideal career, what to watch out for in the chart, strengths, weaknesses, what's coming up in future, if there's any question around finance or moving or relationships, or anything at all really, please do get in touch with me for a personal reading. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, please hit subscribe and share it online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.